Jurassic World Rebirth isn't a reboot per se, but it is a standalone sequel to the latest Jurassic Park trilogy, which means it might as well be. That's a good thing because, by and large, the movie is more interested in returning to its roots of dinosaur-induced awe and terror and old-fashioned adventure than any complicated lore or genetic conspiracies. In the 5 years since the events of Jurassic World Dominion, many of the dinosaurs and other formerly extinct creatures that were set free into the world have died off, unable to survive in the modern climate and otherwise hostile environments. So when pharmaceutical representative Martin Krebs, Rupert Friend, contacts Zora Bennett, Scarlett Johansson, a covert ops expert, about leading an expedition to one of the few islands near the equator where dinosaurs still roam, it's ostensibly with a noble goal. They need to extract DNA from the 3 largest dinosaur species of air, Earth, and see to use it to develop a major medication to fight heart disease. To that end, they recruit paleontologist Dr. Henry Loomis, Jonathan Bailey, and Zora's former partner, Duncan Kincaid, Mahershala Ali, as well as a motley crew of sailors, weapons experts, and others. What they don't know is that they're traveling to an island inhabited by mutant, genetically modified, and crossbred dinosaurs. This core narrative spine of the film has superb bones, which is no surprise given that this is original Jurassic Park screenwriter David Koepp's first time officially back with the franchise since 1997's The Lost World. He crafts an intriguing group of adventurers, allowing Zora's mercenary resourcefulness, Henry's geeky awe and intelligence, and Duncan's grief-tainted leadership to play off each other in compelling ways. But there are dual narratives that collide here, as the film also follows a family. Dad Ruben Delgado, Manuel Garciarulfo, teenage daughter Teresa, Luna Blaze, her loser boyfriend Xavier, David Iacono, and youngest daughter Isabella, Audrina Miranda. Ruben is sailing across the Atlantic with them, which Duncan rightfully reprimands him for later. Like really, who brings a small child across the ocean in a sailboat? But they find themselves in distress when a mosasaur capsizes their boat, requiring rescue by Duncan and the crew. They're meant to provide the innocent counterbalance to the researchers, the human beings whose lives are caught in the balance through no fault of their own. But they have no real connection to the other mission, beyond the tenuous thread of Duncan's own familial loss, pivoting his attention from the mission to keeping this family safe. However, we never learn much about them apart from the fact that their father is wildly irresponsible. Worse, Xavier, the dumbass boyfriend who begrudgingly wins Ruben's respect, is the worst. Since lawyer Donald Gennaro's ignominious toilet death in the first season, I have never so wished for a character to be eaten. Please, Raptors, chomp away and spare us all more time with this character. The Delgado family is meant to raise the stakes, but they're more a distraction than anything else, which is particularly unfortunate given that they're the first substantial Latina representation within the franchise. That being said, Miranda is the saving grace here, and her interactions with the tiny dino she names Dolores Pile on the cute factor. I would bet that the inevitable Dolores toy will be the top seller of 2025. The adorable creature is basically dinosaur Baby Yoda. Still, Jurassic World Rebirth is a gripping summer adventure anchored by its all-star cast. Johansson has made no bones about her longtime dream of starring in a Jurassic film, and she makes the most of the opportunity here, hanging off the side of a boat, scaling cliffs, and outrunning mutant dinosaurs in a complex tunnel system. Ollie is her perfect foil as her former partner, who cares more about the lives of his crew than the mission's objectives. If anything, his greatest shortcoming is just how sacrificial he's willing to be. Still, the film thankfully skirts the edge of any dismaying tropes and instead pays off his various noble feints. Friend has already proven his ability to thrive in villainous roles, and he delivers again here, even if we're meant to take his sins at face value purely because he's an agent of Big Pharma. However, the movie's true star, besides the dinosaurs, is Jonathan Bailey. In only a few years, Bailey has catapulted to stardom, moving from Bridgerton to Wicked and landing here. He feels tailor-made for the role of Dr. Henry Loomis, a man who blends the respect for science of Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill, and the non-skeevy charms of Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum. Much has been made of Bailey's slutty little glasses, but they and the man behind them don't disappoint. Though Bailey is buff enough to believably hang in through action scenes, he also sells Dr. Loomis nerd bona fides. I thoroughly believe this man could spend his life in a museum, yet also be capable of raiding a dinosaur nest several thousand feet above ground. Let me also shout out costume designer Sammy Sheldon for giving us not only slutty spectacles, but plenty of rolled-up sleeves and exposed forearms, the requisite uniform of the swoony hero. Bailey has the purest, most moving moment in the film. His electric joy and overwhelming awe at getting to actually touch a dinosaur after studying them for years are so earnest and charming that they have the power to make the entire audience feel like a child again. The scene in Bailey's abundant rapture serve as a poignant reminder of the movie-making magic that made Jurassic Park a hit in the first place. Indeed, it is the dinosaurs that keep us coming back, and that's true again here. Whether it's the awe-inducing sight of a titanosaur or the horror of a sleeping Tyrannosaurus rex, the creatures continue to shock and wow in all their glory. Edwards is primarily a visual director, and he crafts some beautifully striking tableaus throughout, including an eerily orange sequence involving an inflatable raft and T-Rex, and a climactic moment where fiery red flares serve as the sole source of light in a scene. Science is for all of us, not just for some of us, Dr. Loomis tells Zora, advocating for their work to have a more noble purpose than lining their pockets. That aspirational notion has always sat at the heart of the Jurassic Park films. Jurassic World Rebirth is one of the more successful and satisfying entries in the franchise precisely because it finds a way to keep Loomis' mantra close, foregrounding the film's sense of wonder above a mere blatant cash grab. Great, B+.